Il nome completo com'è?
What's
Jeff.
your full name?
Jeffrey Casella, Jeffrey Francis Casella.
Jeffrey Francis Casella.
Perché era troppo corto il tuo nome per una persona così importante.
Yeah, your name was too short for this kind of important people as you are.
Yeah, I only used a short name, it's easier.
Facile come
Tu sei l'anima di questo evento
You're the
perché
soul of this event.
conosci ogni settore, sei presente in ogni situazione e sei animatore di tutti gli eventi. Dove prendi tutta questa energia?
You know everyone, you never stop, you know everybody, every stand and everything, and you all organizes every activity, so how come you have all this energy? Why?
I have no energy left, but I think the main part of it is that there's a connection and a desire and a love for Felitto, and I want to do it the right way. I don't want to mess around and screw things up, and especially this. When we started planning this event, I started saying what I wanted to do in one of the meetings, and I know you've met him, Bobby Mariotti.
Yeah.
He said, "Okay, go ahead." That was it. It was like, so it all fell on me. So, but he also said to me that if he doesn't want this to turn out to be when you guys get on the plane, you turn around and say, "What the heck was that we just saw? What was that? What happened there? Like it was bad or
No.
something?" You know?
Okay.
So we wanted to make sure that everybody was happy in the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Puoi stare tranquillo.
You can be. Yeah, we're good.
Racconteremo solo cose belle.
We will only tell the beautiful things we have experienced.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I the past few days, I've been calling myself the delegation wrangler. Like I'm like a cowboy with the delegate. Okay, we go here. Okay, we go there, moving everybody. And I knew that we were gonna be okay when you arrived at the hotel and we had the music playing and everybody was dancing and happy. I knew, okay, I know I could work. I know I could keep this going forward. So that was, I was hoping that you didn't hear that band and go, "We're tired, we want to go to bed."
That was fine.
So.
Totally fine, yeah.
Sì, confermo.
If we like.
Senti, i tuoi genitori, i tuoi nonni, chi è arrivato per primo qui?
Who was the first to come to the States? Your grandfathers, your grandparents, your parents?
Right, my great grandfather. So not my grandfather, but
Your
great now. You would say grandfather.
Yeah, it's not.
Bisnon.
Yeah.
Okay. So when he came over first, I always say the story that they both came over together, but that just makes it easier to say. Okay, but my great grandfather came over first, and they had a son. I'm not 100% sure on what his name was, but they had it in Italy, and he died in Felitto. But he was already gone to States. So when he came back, for when the boy died, they had another baby on the way. So about 3 months into it, another relative, their family died, and they were the godparents. So they had to take this child in.
The godparent.
As godparents, they took a child in, and that child actually died.
Oh.
And it was, I don't know the exact reasons, and nobody does, because it was really, the records were very difficult to uncover.
I suoi genitori cosa hanno fatto? Cioè suo nonno che lavoro faceva qua?
Your great-grandfather, what did he do here?
He worked in the mines.
Lavorava nelle mine.
E il suo papà?
What about your father, your grandfather and your father?
My grandfather, funny with him, he worked in the mines for 1 week,
Oh.
and he went to ask for his paycheck, and they said, well, maybe we'll pay you next week. But he knew he had a family, and so he said, no, I'm not going to work here. So he learned how to be a carpenter, and he became a builder. So he went to the coal mines and came out a guy that could build a house.
Good. Your father?
My father worked as, he was an office, he worked in an office, billing office. He would call people.
For taxes.
Yeah, no. He worked for a company called Emery Air Freight. But they were kind of like, before there was FedEx, it was Emery. They were older. And he would call them for billing to say, okay, you know, whatever, for how much money they owe them. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
he had a rough job, and actually on his finger, it was all like very hard here. You could feel his finger felt like bone, because it was the rotary dial phones that he'd have to dial. So it was kind of, yeah, his fingers were very solid.
Okay.
Senti, e tu che lavoro fai o hai fatto? Quanti lavori hai fatto?
And how many jobs did you have? And
How long does he have?
quanto tempo hai?
No, breve.
Very short.
Okay, well, you know, as a kid, I did what many children do. I delivered newspapers, and I worked fast food restaurants, and joined the Navy. Was discharged from the Navy because of my knees, and it was basically ever since I went to be a police officer. I didn't like it, so I worked for an airline, and they closed. Then I worked for mostly trucking, driving a truck or a bus. I did drive a bus for a while, but I didn't like that the freight spoke. Instead of, like, if you drive a truck, you have a box. The box doesn't talk to you, but if you drive a bus, the passengers talk to you. It was like, no, leave me alone. Go away.
So you wanted to talk
And they would never talk to you about anything nice. It's, why are we late? Why are we not there?
Okay, got it. And so now, what's your job?
I drive a truck still.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Why? I mean, for...
It's an honest job. It's a good job, and if you get with a really good company, you could make a lot of money doing it. So.
Yeah.
Va bene. Senti, tu hai solo un figlio, l'abbiamo conosciuto, simpaticone, ed è molto socievole.
You only have one son?
Yes.
Arthur. Met him, is very kind, is very, how do you say?
Abbiamo fatto anche l'intervista.
Ah, sì?
Sì.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we interviewed Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
Abbiamo fatto
Should I say
l'intervista anche a
Oksana?
Oksana.
Yeah, when do you see each other? I mean,
I'm only gone a few days a week, and some days I might be home. So we see each other a lot, mostly weekends.
Senti, tornando alla festa,
Eh.
quante persone sono state servite in questa occasione, in questo evento?
How many people do you think were here in this event, this day?
Well, last night was actually not as busy as Friday night, but there was still a lot of people here. Now, a lot of people were here just to see the twinning, and they grabbed some pizza free and they went home. Friday night, I'd say we had, throughout the night, over 1,000 people walked through.
Oh, 1,000 people.
Yeah, and because we had a very good night,
Yeah.
so it's
It
like
was good.
we know it was very busy, so we're very happy about Friday night. And Saturday, a lot of people, we think we were as busy as on Friday night, was because they were predicting rain for Saturday, but they didn't know that we had a very good saint here that was gonna push the rain away. So she always does. It's funny.
Yeah.
Last year when we did our celebration, and we did the mass, and we came out of church. Well, Saturday night was total rain showers. It was
Yeah.
horrible. But we took her to the church like we did last night, and it was pouring rain, and we had to cover her, and I made her a raincoat, but it was out of garbage bags. We had to pay for it.
Quante persone hanno invece collaborato a questa festa?
How many people how many people did collaborate this event?
Honestly, we get very little complaints, so we say everybody celebrates it. Whoever comes here, obviously there's a reason. Whether it's for food, whether it's for Madonna, we don't know.
Okay.
But so far as the parade this year is bigger this year than it was last year. A lot of it is because of what we did.
Okay.
What we tried to get, we wanted to get the children involved, so. But yeah, we're very happy and pleased with that. There were more people on the route this year than there were in previous years. The first year we did it, the streets were filled, and that's my job over the next few years. I want to get it back to that, to where people are excited about coming to this festival, and I want people to see that this isn't just some food festival.
Okay.
This is about more than a food festival.
Ovviamente sono volontari le persone che lavorano, cioè,
The people who work here, of course, are volunteers.
Volunteers, nobody's paid.
Nessuno è pagato.
The only people that are paid are the musicians.
Solo i musicisti sono pagati.
Ok, senti, e a Felitto quante volte sei
How
tornato?
many times have you been to Felitto?
4 times?
Times.
Yeah, 4 times. Yeah. She would know better because
Farà
we stay there.
Lo sa perché
Tiene il conteggio.
That's how we know this one. She wasn't even in college when I first met her.
Right. Così li conosco, non ero manco all'università quando mi ha conosciuto.
Cosa pensi di Felitto, del paese?
What do you think about Felitto?
I only wish to go back.
Vuole solo
That's-
ritornare, quello è quello che penso.
E cos'è che ti attira a
Why do
Felitto?
you want to go back?
It's, you know, the food is outstanding. However, I think there's a very great sense of family there.
Okay,
And and when I go there, and especially when we walk down onto the medieval bridge and walk across it, I could almost feel my great grandparents walking across that, making that trek to
Yeah.
Naples, and it hits me. It's quiet, it's peaceful down there, that's for sure. And we love Remley. And now we have the added addition of going to visit Rosie again. So it's always fun, and we love the people there. And honestly, I always used to say it, I feel like George Clooney walking through that town. Little did I know that George Clooney walked through that town. So it's always now I even have a better story. You know? So I think it's just a common, you know, feeling that I have. But it's like when you find family, you find where you're meant to be,
Yeah.
and it just you feel it.
Yeah,
Right from the
that's
beginning.
wise.
Va bene, grazie.
Thank you.
È stato un piacere incontrarti qua e di rivederti a Capaccio, a Pestum, a Felitto.
It was a pleasure to meeting you here, and I hope to see you back in Felitto.
Oh, you will. You will.